It is 65 decibels and the job is now finished. I'll scroll slowly up, show you the lid I made, and then I'm going to walk that lid and put it on top of the device. Here's your device. What we have here are two working Avalon miners, dead one in the center. I have one spare one with some spare parts that work, but it is a dead Avalon. The one on the left and the one on the right is working. You can kind of hear the noise. What I did here on the earlier videos is I built, I'll call it the letter C trough for the miner. I then laid 3 layers of insulation here. This is an old automobile, inside an automobile hood liner. You can see it right here, this section. It goes a little longer, goes all the way back to the back. This is the second one, simply nailed in. On the bottom is a layer of fiberglass fire blanket to prevent fires. I then placed right over here metal strapping. This metal strapping you see is used to hang pipe. This metal strapping is used to hang pipe. It's for safety. You'll see why in a minute. There's the two 2400 watt PSUs. They're Delta. Each one uses 1200 watts and runs one miner. If you look over here, you can see the amps I'm pulling on a 240 watt system. Here's your PDU. You can see it's 17 amps. And that blue and yellow wire go respectively into the two PSUs over here. That's to allow me to know exactly how I'm hooked up and how much power I'm drawing, because this PDU can draw about 22 amps and it can only draw about 11 amps on the left and 11 amps on the right. The blue and yellow are the current power cords for the machine, and if I pull out all the rest of the connections here, you'll watch the amps drop. This is some other mining gear hooked up to GPUs, and you'll now see I'm running approximately 11 amps at 240 watts to run this power. I have a very light duty air filter because I want to keep airflow up, and this is my topping built. In the center here is one sheet of plywood. It's approximately 2 feet wide and it's approximately 3.5 feet long. I made it a little shorter because I wanted to be able to lower weight. Now what I did in order to build the roof is I used some bubble wrap foil. You may have seen this product. You can see there's a sandwich of silver on both sides and some plastic bubble. It's light duty. That's the first piece that goes against the plywood and wraps around. Here's the second piece. This is the stuff that we use right over here. I bought that at Home Depot. I wrapped that around. The third piece is another fiberglass blanket. Let's get a quick look at it here. That fiberglass blanket right there is very much fireproof. Goes to 1000 F before it starts to melt. Glass fiberglass starts to melt around 1000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty much fireproof. Not perfectly, we'll call it fireproof, but it's really fire resistant. And then this was simply screwed in, these two support boards, and they give a little more length to allow me to stretch the length of this. You can kind of hear the noise here. It's not quiet, it's not loud. It's about 66 decibels. I'm going to back up and show you the meter. I'll walk away. That's 64 decibels. This pipe strapping is just so I don't drop the lid on top of everything. I'm going to put down the camera for a second and mount the lid. Excuse me while I do this. Don't know how well this will work. Hopefully it's positioned in a good spot. This is a very light lid, nowhere near as heavy as the bottom section, and you will hear the difference with this sound very much. You'll hear a good drop off of sound. I'm going to pick this back up. You can see how she mounts. Gives me a little bit of dust protection here. I'm not looking to make perfect dust protection because I do have a fairly clean garage and my house has a lot of air filters. The hot air comes out down here. Putting my hand here, I easily feel the flow of the hot air. There's no restrictions on the air. And I'm going to walk back to the meter and not talk. So I dropped from about 64, 65 dB down to about 56 dB. With that, I'll sign off, and I'll get this up online soon. Thanks.